Hello and a warm welcome to South Asia Today, where we bring you in-depth insights into the key events shaping South Asia. I'm Shivangi Mishra, and here are today's top stories. India's Lucknow crafts, culture and cuisine tells a timeless story. Nepal rations LPG cylinders as Middle East conflict triggers demand surge. And leaders unite in POGB against decades of political marginalization. Let's begin the show. We now take you to Lucknow, often called the city of Nawabs, where every street reflects elegance and history. Known for its celebrated tehzeeb or graceful etiquette, the city blends culture, craftsmanship and style in everyday life. Here, tradition is not confined to the past. It inspires modern fashion, food and art. From the aroma of its iconic kebabs to the sweetness of kulfi, every flavor tells a story of a city where heritage and contemporary life come together beautifully.
Lucknow introduces itself through its stunning architecture. The iconic Rumi Darwaza or Rumi Gate stands with royal elegance, while the Husainabad Clock Tower quietly marks the rhythm of the city. But beyond these historic landmarks, a new Lucknow is moving fast, where businesses are growing and young dreams are taking shape. The journey then enters the delicate world of chikankari embroidery. Simple fabric is transformed by skilled artisans using intricate stitches like bakhia, fanda, murri and jali. Once finished, these handcrafted pieces travel across the world, carrying with them the timeless artistry of Lucknow.
कि बेसिकली इंडिया में आउट ऑफ इंडिया तो हमारे यहाँ 95% हर जगह बात माल जाता है इंडिया के अंदर, ठीक है। आउट ऑफ इंडिया में जैसे दुबई हो गया, आपका काठमांडू हो गया, सिंगापुर हो गया, जैसी जैसी डिमांड होती है तो कस्टमर खुद कांटेक्ट करता है एंड उस हिसाब से वो परचेज़ करता है। जो भी उसको स्टॉक चाहिए रहता है, मैं फ़ोटोज़ भेजता हूँ व्हाट्सएप पे एंड उनको जो भी स्टॉक में जो चीज़ें उसमें समझ में आती है उस हिसाब से डिमांड जिस प्रोडक्ट की उनको ज़्यादा लगती है उस हिसाब से वो परचेज़ करके मुझसे बाय करते हैं।
Between historic monuments and the delicate art of chikankari embroidery, Lucknow is shaping a new chapter. At the Asma Hussain Institute of Fashion Technology, designer Asma Hussain is giving this traditional craft a modern twist, bringing chikankari from heritage wardrobes to contemporary runways and youth fashion.
We use modern silhouettes. We work on the modern contemporary designs. Sometimes we are, instead of making paisley or the flowers, we make some geometrical designs, and we are doing it on shirts, on skirts or scarves, and male shirts also for men. So that is how we keep it relevant for the youngsters.
Back on the streets of Lucknow, the atmosphere comes alive with rising smoke, sizzling grills and the rich aroma of spices as visitors gather to experience its famous street food. Since 1905, Tunde Kababi has been known for its legendary Galoti kebabs, soft, flavorful and deeply rooted in tradition. One bite is enough to understand why this dish has become a symbol of Lucknow's culinary heritage.
हम क्वालिटी पर ख़ास ध्यान रखते हैं। अभी तक हम तो फ्रेंचाइजी अभी नहीं दे रहे हैं। जो भी है अपना आउटलेट है, कमीनाबाद है, दूसरे कपूरथला है और तीसरे जो है वो हुसैनाबाद है और दोबग्गा है, लुलु मॉल है। तो ये अभी आउटलेट अपने ही चल रहे हैं।
So Lucknow as such is it has its own ancient philosophy in terms of the royalty which is there, in terms of the food and in the culture and especially the language.
But in Lucknow, a meal never truly ends without a sweet farewell. At Prakash Kulfi, the energy rises again. Orders flow, in spoons clink, and the crowd gathers faster than the dessert melts. Each serving brings a taste of nostalgia, celebration, and pure comfort.
हमारे यहाँ कुल्फ़ी की खासियत ये है कि ये मतलब जो अभी पुराने तरीके से बनाई जाती है। जैसे इसका दूध जो होता है भट्ठी पे पकाया जाता है कोयले की आंच में, और इसका जमाने का प्रोसेस ये मटके में नमक और बर्फ़ डाल के इसको जमाया जाता है। जिससे इसका टेस्ट जो है और भी मतलब ज़्यादा निखल के आता है।
In Lucknow, history is not confined to monuments. It lives in its crafts, flavors, and everyday life. From the elegance of chicken curry embroidery to the legendary taste of tunde kababi and Prakash kulfi, the city beautifully blends tradition with modern energy, keeping its timeless charm alive for a new generation.
Nepal is witnessing a cooking gas crunch as authorities move to ration LPG amid rising demand triggered by the Middle East conflict. The state-run Nepal Oil Corporation has begun distributing half-filled cylinders to conserve supply. Long queues have been reported across the Kathmandu Valley, with panic buying on the rise despite stable imports from India.
Amid supply disruptions triggered by the ongoing conflict in Middle East, Nepal has begun rationing cooking gas to manage rising demand. From Friday, the state-run Nepal Oil Corporation started limiting the distribution of liquefied petroleum gas commonly used for household cooking. Authorities say the move aims to ensure that available supplies last longer as imports remain affected. Following directives from the corporation, several LPG bottling plants have begun selling half-filled cylinders instead of full ones. The measure is intended to distribute the limited stock among a larger number of consumers.
सजिलो छैन, ग्यास गाह्रै छ। अब यहाँ अब हेरे आजको चाहिँ अवस्था के छ भने अहिले म यहाँ आएको चाहिँ 10 बजे आएको, 10 बजे अहिले अब टाइम कति भयो, धेरै गाह्रो छ अहिले, त्यसैले ग्यास आएको छैन।
Under the new provision, 7.1 kilogram LPG cylinders, half the usual quantity, are being distributed to households as well as hotels and restaurants. The state-run Nepal Oil Corporation said the move aims to conserve energy and manage demand. Officials noted this is the first such step in 5 years, though supplies from India remain normal despite rising panic buying in Kathmandu Valley. The Nepal Oil Corporation has taken a key decision after a gap of 5 years amid rising concerns over cooking gas availability. Similar measures were earlier adopted during crisis in 2015 and 2020 when Nepal faced severe shortages of LPG. Officials say fuel supplies from India remain stable. However, panic buying has increased significantly across the Kathmandu Valley. Long queues are now visible at cooking gas depots as local grocery stores struggle to meet demand.
गाह्रो छ, यसो खोजखाज गर्ने दाउराले गर्ने, यो कताबाट सरसाबर गरेर भए पनि चलाउने, तर कसले दिन्छ यो बेला सबैको समस्या हो। मैले अलि दाउराबाट गरेर राख्छु कति चाहिँ।
Nepal's LPG demand currently stands at around 45,000 to 46,000 tons per month, and the NOC says a similar quantity has been arriving. According to official data, out of Nepal's 6.66 million households, about 44.3% rely on LPG for cooking, while 55% still depend on firewood as their primary household fuel. Bagmati province, which includes the Kathmandu Valley, remains the highest consumer of LPG in Nepal. According to the latest census, the province has around 1.56 million households, with nearly 69.8% of families relying on LPG as their primary cooking fuel.
Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
The Philippines is exploring the possibility of importing oil from Russia to manage rising fuel prices. Energy Secretary Sharon Garin said authorities are also in talks with multiple countries including China, Japan and South Korea to secure stable supply agreements. Garin assured that fuel supply remains adequate and urged the public not to panic while warning against hoarding that could disrupt availability, especially for public transport. The government is closely monitoring oil companies' inventories. Meanwhile, the Congress has granted President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. the authority to temporarily suspend or reduce fuel excise taxes for up to 6 months to stabilize prices and curb inflation. Indonesia and Australia are planning to expand their security cooperation to include Japan and Papua New Guinea, Indonesia's defense minister said after meeting his Australian counterpart. The countries aim to establish trilateral security frameworks involving Indonesia, Australia, Japan, and Papua New Guinea. The discussions follow a recently signed bilateral security treaty committing both nations to consult each other in case of threats. The ministers also explored plans to develop a defense training facility on Morotai Island by upgrading existing infrastructure, strengthening regional defense cooperation and strategic coordination. The Indo-Nepal Trade Festival 2026 included in the national capital after 3 days of discussions aimed at strengthening economic and cultural ties between India and Nepal. Held at PhD House, the event focused on sectors such as hydropower, tourism, digital payments and startups. Nepal's ambassador to India, Shankar Prasad Sharma, emphasized the need to promote Nepal's tourism potential in the Indian market. Experts also highlighted growing cooperation in hydropower and discussed the proposed Himalayan Compute Corridor, which could leverage Nepal's clean energy for future data centers. The festival brought together policymakers, entrepreneurs, and visitors, showcasing cultural products while reinforcing efforts to deepen bilateral engagement and trade.
Voices from Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan are growing louder against decades of political marginalization and denial of rights. Local leaders have now decided to unite under a political alliance to strengthen indigenous representation and challenge Islamabad's control. The move aims to reclaim their identity, resist systemic repression, and ensure the people of Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan stand up to fight for their rights and future. We have a report.
For decades, people in Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan have endured political marginalization due to the absence of genuine local representation. Decisions shaping their future have long been dictated by power centers outside the region, leaving local voices unheard and rights unaddressed. It is this prolonged neglect and exclusion that has now pushed POGB leaders to come together and form a political alliance to reclaim their rights and demand true representation.
तो ये इस खुशफहमी में हम क्यों पड़े हुए हैं कि एक पंजाबियों की जमात या एक सिंधियों की जमात या एक पठानों की जमात या एक बलोचों की जमात गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के लोगों की नुमाइंदगी करेगी? ये कैसे हो सकता है? ये बिल्कुल एक गैर फितरी नुमाइंदगी है और इस गैर फितरी नुमाइंदगी की ही वजह से 78 साल बल्कि 80 साल होने को हैं कि हम बुनियादी इंसानी हुकूक से आज तक महरूम रहे। लेकिन हम जो गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के लोग हैं, बहैसियत गिलगित बल्तिस्तानी हम अपने हुकूक भूल चुके हैं। सबसे पहले हमारे बहैसियत गिलगित बल्तिस्तानी जो हुकूक हैं उनको डिफेंड करने की जरूरत है।
Leaders in Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan say the region continues to suffer from a deepening energy crisis and controversial reforms imposed without the consent of local people. Despite repeated promises, representatives of Pakistan's mainstream parties have failed to address these pressing concerns. Frustrated by years of inaction and neglect, POGB leaders say the time has come for the people to build their own political platform and ensure genuine representation in the region's political landscape.
उन सब ने ये फैसला किया कि इंशाअल्लाह अज़ीज़ आइंदा न सिर्फ आइंदा इंतखाबात के लिए बल्कि हमेशा के लिए गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में एक गिलगित बल्तिस्तान का पॉलिटिकल अलायंस वजूद में लाएंगे जिसमें जितनी हमारे गिलगित बल्तिस्तान की सियासी जमातें हैं वो सब उस अलायंस का हिस्सा होंगी और उस अलायंस के जरिए इंशाअल्लाह अज़ीज़ गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के 24 हलकों में हम अपना कैंडिडेट उतारने की पूरी कोशिश करेंगे। एनर्जी क्राइसिस का जहां तक ताल्लुक है ये तो बहुत मामूली सी बात है। असल जो इश्यूज हैं वो हमारे जो लैंड रिफॉर्म और रेवेन्यू अथॉरिटी एक्ट के नाम से जो हमारे ऊपर थोपे गए, इसलिए इन तमाम मसाइल का, चाहे वो लैंड रिफॉर्म की सूरत में जुल्म किया गया हो, चाहे रेवेन्यू अथॉरिटी एक्ट की सूरत में जितने मजालिम हमारे ऊपर ढाए गए हैं, इन्हीं जमातों के जरिए ढाए गए हैं, और इन्हीं जमातों से बाहर निकल के गिलगित बल्तिस्तान की कौम इंशाअल्लाह अजीज जब अपनी मकामी जमातों को रिप्रेजेंटेशन दे देगी, तो इंशाअल्लाह अजीज हम पहली फुर्सत में अगर असेंबली में हम बाख्तियार हो गए तो इनको असेंबली में कानून साजी के जरिए खत्म करेंगे।
For decades, the people of POGB have faced relentless hardships. Basic infrastructure remains underdeveloped, healthcare services are scarce, and educational facilities are limited. Roads are unsafe, electricity and water supply are unreliable, and access to essential services is a daily struggle. Leaders say these challenges, combined with decades of political neglect, have left the people of POGB sidelined, reinforcing the urgent need for local leadership that can truly address their problems.
The traditional bee festival was celebrated with enthusiasm in parts of Ladakh, particularly in the Aran Valley's Garkon village, marking the beginning of the agricultural season. Villagers gathered to perform age-old rituals, prayers, and cultural traditions associated with farming. Children dressed in traditional attire participated in the celebrations, while farmers ceremonially sowed the first seeds and began plugging their fields, seeking blessings for favorable weather and prosperous harvest. Let's take a look.
The Bee Festival, locally known as Biul or Bay Festival, is an important traditional celebration observed in the Garkon village of the Aryan Valley in Ladakh. The festival marks the auspicious beginning of the agricultural season and reflects the deep cultural and spiritual connection that the local community shares with the land and nature. Celebrated annually towards the end of winter, the festival symbolizes hope, renewal, and the start of farming activities after the harsh cold months.
सका में एक तो ये जो हमारे बच्चे होते हैं, जो बड़े बुजुर्ग सब होते हैं इसमें ना, तो उसमें क्या होता है कि जो हम लगाते हैं, बीज लगाते हैं, उसका एक नमूना लगाते हैं। फिर वो उस वक़्त जो लोगों को थोड़ा खुशी से जो फसल के पहले लगाने की खुशी में सबको थोड़ा बहुत खाना खिलाते हैं, एक दूसरे के हमसाया, एक दूसरे को रिश्तेदार लोग आते हैं, तो इसे मना के ना, तो तब से हमारे काम शुरू हो जाता है। जो खेती का जो पत्थर वगैरह होता है, कोई इधर हटाना होता है, कोई सफाई करना होता है, फिर वो पानी निकालने का वो भी होता है, नाल में वो ये से काम होता है।
The Bee Festival begins with collective rituals by villagers where children from every household dress in traditional attire and join prayers, songs and dances symbolizing purity and passing of cultural traditions to future generations. During the ceremony, the first seeds are sown and farmers perform initial plowing, marking the start of the agricultural season and seeking prosperity and a good harvest. Villagers also offer prayers to local deities known as Las for rainfall, fertile land and protection from calamities. In the high altitude Aryan Valley, farmers grow tomatoes, turnips, cabbage, cauliflower, capsicum and brinjal, with tomatoes often supplied to the Indian Army.
फल सब्जी हमारा यहाँ होता है शलगम, जैसे पलाक, फूल गोभी, बंद गोभी, हर एक सब्जी होता है वहाँ। शिमला मिर्ची, बैंगन वगैरह भी होता है। जैसे सब्जी यहाँ मिलता है वैसे सब कुछ वहाँ भी होता है। तो हम ज़्यादातर वही टमाटर लगाते हैं क्योंकि वो उधर आर्मी में सप्लाई हो जाता है। फूल गोभी लगाते हैं। जी 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 जी। तो बाकी शलगम तो फिलहाल अभी सब मौसम के फस उसमें लगता है, उसके बाद वो दूसरा फसल लगाया जाता है उसमें।
The Bee Festival therefore represents more than just a cultural event. It is a symbol of Ladakh's agrarian heritage, reflecting the resilience, unity, and spiritual beliefs of the people of the Aryan Valley. By continuing to celebrate this festival, the community preserves centuries-old tradition, strengthens its connection with nature, and passes its cultural identity from one generation to the next.
As we wrap up today's episode of South Asia Today, we thank you for joining us. We'll return next week at the same time with more insights and updates. This is Shivangi Mishra signing off on behalf of our entire team. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.